Can you just give me a rough idea about the top three paints that I need to pull out?
Today.
Yeah.
Okay. Blue,
Okay.
alizarin, cad red, uh, orange, cad orange,
Orange. Okay.
cad, cad light, red, cad orange, oxide, light oxide,
Okay.
red, and probably phthalo green will probably still be there,
Okay.
and a lot of white.
Right away. Thank you.
Okay. So, let me set up. I got to set up my other phone yet. Sorry, folks. Just it took a little bit longer today to get going. You guys missed a good workshop we had Thursday and Friday. We painted a cowboy. It was turned out pretty good. Oops.
I missed the second one.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it.
Okay, thank you.
So no,
Oh,
you get it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Sorry, I was it just took a little while on Zoom.
I wasn't able, I watched and I took notes, but I wasn't able to paint with you. But I did get my drawing down.
Okay.
But I didn't know if you wanted to kind of look at that. And
Yeah, just a second. I'm
I
trying to.
know this is a different class, though.
No. I mean, just trying to set up my other phone here, and then I'll look at it as soon as I have this phone set up. We'll take a look. Go ahead and put it. Let's go ahead and put it up.
Okay. You'll have to reverse it.
Oh, it looks great.
I got the cowboy shirt.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
so realistic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to flip it.
There's a little camera flipper thing. It's up to.
Oh, goodness.
It's not somewhere on the screen. Usually at the top.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, here we go.
Ah.
I had trouble drawing him, so I wiped it about 5 or 6 times, but
Yeah. Well,
I can put his legs out there a little bit more.
yeah. There is that crossing of the legs and stuff is always a problem, just because they get lost together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, uh, that looks pretty good. I mean, it looks fine. It looks fine. Nice and stuff. The bottom of the hoof, you're going to lose a little bit of it, with the snow,
Yeah.
but it's well drawn in there. The head, I mean, the head looks great. I mean, that looks really good. Even the person up there, I switched out the head on the girl and made it a guy, and
Yeah.
and and that made me do some things. I also found pulling the brim down over the eyes.
Okay.
That was, on when you get there and stuff, you think about it, it's your choice. That helped a lot of just getting the face out of there, so you don't have the horse's face and the rider's face to go back and forth with. I mean, you just have the color of the face and mostly the horse. So the horse's head stands out really well. That in your drawing looks really nice on the horse.
Yeah.
Good job on the mountains back there too.
What about this little foot right here? Should I just kind of make it, because it looks so weird?
Yeah. We were pretty much getting rid of stuff like that back there. If you get
Okay.
rid of that, you don't need it.
Okay.
That way you can just put some more snow back there. No one's going to ask for it.
Okay.
No one asked for it, so that's okay.
Well, thank you.
A lot of snow back there will cover it up in between too. I put a dog in mine too.
Oh, did you?
Here, I'll put it up. I'll put it up here. I got it.
I love it. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this.
All right, I'll put
So
it
we
up.
can have
You
fun.
put a dog in after we finished last night. Oh my God.
I think that's brilliant.
I think that's so typical.
Yeah, it's his signature move.
Well, I'll put it up here. Let me come back to.
Look
Oh,
at that.
wow. Wow. That's awesome.
Thank you.
love
That's
that.
what I want to hear.
That's
Wow.
good, Jim. That really
Really,
actually
that's
is
really,
good.
and I love the dog. You needed the dog. You did.
It had this empty spot over here,
Yeah.
and the trees that were there weren't holding it down. So
Yeah.
it was kind of bending over there a little bit, and it just needed something to go back and forth to. So I just put a yellow lab in there.
That's
No.
brilliant.
Well, so long as it's not a beagle or a dachshund, you're good.
Well, the other one, that's what I kind of liked about the other one, Saturday Point painting we did with the
With the street
the
scene.
horse and the dogs and stuff. That
Oh,
turned
that
out
one.
so well because I thought because of the dogs.
Mhm.
So and you got to have things in your back pocket as you go here. And today, when we paint this one, there will be plenty.
So when we
to
paint
do.
this one, you're not going to be able to put a dog in. So what are we going to do? Put a cat?
I know we're in trouble. I'll put a wolf.
cat.
A wolf. We'll put a wolf in there.
Oh,
Coming
she's
in, snatching that rabbit. Or coyote.
Oh my
Do a
God.
coyote, right? We have.
Yeah, we've done that.
Oh shit! We did something already just like that, didn't we? We
It's
don't
great.
need to do this one today. Okay.
No, this is good. I like this idea of white on white.
It is a lot of white. Just
Or
looking.
pink on pink.
That's the. 1 second. I gotta just plug in my phone, and no, it won't die on us halfway through. Okay. I think that'll do it. There we go. I feel better. Oh, I was naked there for a second. You don't have that extra phone going. Yeah, this is an interesting one we got today going. Yeah, as you can see up here, even up here, it's very purple, but you could still see the warmth in that rabbit. So getting that to work is going to be the toughest thing. And it's just really a study in purple we'll be working on. It would be warm purples to cool purples. And that's what's going to separate this thing out. Not, you got a little bit of, or let me pull it up. I can go through. Let me give you the whole shebang I was thinking of when on this one. Oh, you guys are going to be so happy. Oops, that's the wrong one. Gosh. Photos. Okay. Need that one. Let's see which one comes up first. Okay. Yeah. This rabbit basically is really in the range in the value scale 4s and 3s. Lots of white. So it's going to be in this range pretty much. You won't even get to 1. You might get to 8 with the around the ears and the eye, just because of red is such a dark color. But everything else is really just in that little magic range. I kind of put this grayscale over all the areas here and kind of saw what I was thinking. So yeah, this front area, a lot of this area in here is going to go to about a 3, and even in here, lots of 3s and 4s. So there isn't not much contrast between these two here. Back in here, we're going to have to get to a 4. And we're just going to have to do it all with like temperature. You're going to have to shift things around just by the temperature of the purple. And that's why I was saying it's a kind of a study of purple because of which way it's going, because it's really warm purples against cool purples. You're going to find that purple is on it's on the blue side, and it can be on the red side. If you go to the red side, you're getting closer to brown. You can get browns on the range, and that's where you start to get some of the separation of color underneath, because you start to get some of these red browns, purples right underneath the skin, and then you got the fur coming over the top. Yeah, you can see it in the ears too. Yeah, that would have been a good one too. Then you got the cooler purples on the blue side and the red side. And the thing is, the change of red today is going to be the biggest key of this thing. If you're going to go on the cool side, you go with the alizarin. If you think it's on the warm side, you're going to go with probably Cad Light. But you're going to be probably mixing mostly with blue, probably. But there is also that one specialty color I'm going to add in there. Is probably going to be phthalo green with alizarin, because there is, in certain areas, if you look kind of in here, you see how it just kind of, it just kind of goes back and forth. If you look at it long enough, you can start to see a little bit of shimmer of green in there. You see a shimmer of pink in there. You see a shimmer of blue. That's why you need the green, because you need to add that extra thing. But these values got to be spot on. That's the thing today. That's what our we'll be working at, is getting everything spot on today. Because really these guys are exactly the same value. They're just one's warm, one's cool. One of the reasons I picked this one was because of this one artist I like. His name's Wayne Thiebaud. Oh, let me see. Got to get rid of that. 1 second. Let me see if I can get his. And one of his paintings he did is this rabbit, white on white. Years ago, I got a calendar from a friend, and this was one of the calendar pieces was this white on white rabbit. It was so much better in this. But what he's known for is this blue he uses back in here, the shadow he uses and stuff, and how he rims the shadow here with color going around the outside. He usually uses the red back in here and then orange or yellow back in there. Yeah, so this thing just kind of vibrates a little bit and doesn't really have an edge. But you can start to see some of the subtleties of this. He's a little higher key than us, where he's, a lot closer to the 2 range and stuff. But we're going to be doing a little bit lower just because we don't want to be exact, copies of him. He's a lot warmer too. He's in towards the yellow side anyway. But he also has done other things. You guys probably remember him from this piece that comes up today. There it is. This is one of his pieces. He's known for doing cakes and things like that. Cakes, pie shapes, pies, pieces of pie like this, and a lot of things like desserts. And you can start to see how he rims his drawing with color. He always puts the rainbow colors going around that plate there, and you can see how they shimmer when you kind of come back in here. They kind of lose their edge, and the colors, you can see the red comes forward, the blue on this blue side recedes, and he kept that on all the plates, so it just makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense visually, it works, because that red comes forward, so that one side of the plate comes forward. and same with the other all the other ovals. So, okay, but that's Wayne. He was great. He was fabulous. He also did some great landscapes. But back to our rabbit and some design things. This is just a 8 by 10 or 16 by 20. I'm doing a 16 by 20. But you can do it for 11 by 14, 12 by 16. You do a 12 by 16, you're probably just going to have to add a little bit on the sides. That's about it. What you're going to find on this rabbit, if you're drawing rabbits, have you ever drawn rabbits before? It's pretty simple. You get that head size, you're going to find that it's 1/3 of the body, that whole size, pretty much. It splits that simple. That head size here is this, and it's also the length of the ear. So the key is to find this oval shape, and base everything off that oval shape. Even the size down here, it's 1.5 ovals, heads. So I was just looking, I just do measuring ahead of time to see where things go. If you take the back of the head here and you split it in half, you come really pretty close to where the start of the eyeball is up there. And if you split it up here, a little higher, almost half, you can see where the eyeball starts to fall in there. Just a little bit of, just to help you get going, to lay it out. If you don't, I do this instead of doing a basic drawing. I kind of look at it and break it down into sizes, and so I can kind of have something to go off of. So when I run up here, I don't look, too crazy and redraw it 100 times. But definitely you can see the color now. We got different color shades of purple. We got this cooler shade, which you got some blue in it, more blue in it. Then you got this back in here, feels like you got more red in it. And then you got this color here where you got more orange in it. So it's basically, you're going to be mixing a bunch of values, not values, but combinations of red. So you're going to need a cool red, like alizarin. You could have a warmer red, like cad red light, or even a medium red. I said oxide, but if you went to a medium red, if you went to a medium cad, if you had that would be, would be like in between. Or we could easily mix, or you could easily mix cad and alizarin together. And then that might keep it tighter too. Because the ears are definitely you're going to get out of cad and blue. But there's some phthalo green. Like I was saying, a little phthalo green and purple. But I saw it more a little bit more on the green side, just right in here. But maybe it's on the purple side up here on the outsides. But mostly I think it's going to be alizarin and blue though. So we will see.
Do you think the tips of those ears, did you say you thought that was cad, red and blue?
Yeah, on the blue side.
As opposed to sienna and blue on the sienna side.
Oh, don't use sienna. Don't use sienna because it was going to be too warm.
Okay.
Yeah, it will. It's not going to go with the purples that well.
Okay.
I don't think. I would say keep it simple. That's what I'm going to try and do is keep it simple. I might might have to bring out some cad orange for some of the lighter fur and stuff, and things like that, just because I can see that just a little, at that tone. Because cad orange, when you add white to it, and cad red light, when you add white to it, they kind of go to the cooler side, and they could get a little creamy on you. So I kind of feel like that could be in there, in that area. So, well, let's get mixing.
Jim, one more question.
Yeah.
Can you talk just a little bit about brushwork and the texture of the fur and how to do that?
Smart. Thank you. Smart move. That was one of the things I didn't really mention too much. Definitely you can see certain things here. There's a different size of fur from the head to the body. It's just like, it's really around the head and the ears and stuff. It's a shorter fur. So the strokes have to be smaller, shorter strokes. Also, when you get this longer fur, just like dog fur, just like any of my Goldens and stuff, you gotta lay the color underneath you. So this, even though it's going to be around 4s and 3s mostly. Underneath, we're probably going to go to probably more about a 6 and 7 value underneath, so we can get these crevices to lay underneath, and then you lay the cooler colors on top. These, and we're going to be switching. You can see it's just a little warm here underneath here, in these areas here. You can see the warmth of that underneath fur dander, right? And then over here, it's just a little redder, but cooler too. This stuff is. So when we paint this, we're going to basically be painting it with this color underneath, the basic shape. Also, this back end, look at how cool that is. How much blues and greens there are in that color. And then it kind of goes to a red, and then it goes to a yellow and stuff. And that just kind of just brings the side of gives this flat rabbit dimension, just because you're going from a blue to a greenish to a reddish thing, and that just bows out the colors. So that's how you get that. You're going to get this rabbit to have some shape in the fur. So the fur just going to change colors, but they're going to be so subtle. Only you and I hopefully should know what we did. So, yeah. So even in here, there's only a few areas. This is a lot of strokes, but I'm going to break the fur down into strokes. And if you look down in here, you got 3 basic things, and they kind of, you see how they pivot from one little area, they all go back into one little spot here, and the fur is you're going to follow that fur going back, and it's just going to go like that. It's just radiates around from the head. So think of it that way. There are some areas here where you're going to have cleaner, a little bit bigger marks, but that's really what you want. These guys in here, this area here, all those lighter colors, those are your finishing marks. Those guys come in at the end. After you have this all softened out and done, these guys where you have only a little bit more contrast come in, or you put those guys in first with paint, the good clean paint, and by the time you get so far, your paint will be on your brush will be mixed with other colors and won't be quite as bright. Then you can come down here and bring it down in here too. That's just how you just kind of gang this painting up with colors and stuff. That's how these colors just start to shimmer because you're using different values, or not values, but basic shades of coolness and things you can't mix on your palette, but are going to guaranteed to go together because you thought about the colors on your palette ahead of time. Okay, I'll see you guys all next week. Have fun. The eyes are definitely dark. You know, what are you going to do with those things? Yeah, they are, like I said, close to 8s, 9s, really. I just try not to go that dark, but you're going to mix up that color anyway. And they're going to be on the, like, probably, they looking almost like to see burnt sienna in that eye. And that's what I know Kim was going to. I'd rather mix it with cad red light and blue and get that burnt sienna. And then keep the blue for the eye and the red. Oh, that's going to be so strong. But let's get mixing some colors so we can get this this rabbit done. It doesn't seem very hard, but it's going to take a while. Because you got to count every piece of fur, and that, you know, takes a while. So let's slide over to over the palette, and we'll go through some reds. Basically, yeah, the color palette's pretty much set up. I do have some cad red medium up here. I even have some leftover. Well, so it's sort of kind of good. What's it called? Quizzentine. With some first. What was that for? Some flour or something we did? I don't know. I had to have some kind of goofy flower kind of color that you can't get with these two. But we're gonna go, yeah, lots of titanium white today. So I got double batch out. Cad yellow light. Probably won't even need it. Leftover from yesterday. Cad red light. Cad orange. These guys might come in handy. Ochre might become in handy too, because ochre's not it's not that strong. And it is a kind of a muddy yellow anyway. So kind of gives you a cool, it's a cool yellow. And sometimes you might need it. And in this fur, you might need it. You could use it. I said oxide light oxide red. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. I'm afraid it might dirty up the colors, but I can't be exactly sure until I start mixing. Alizarin crimson, definitely going to be all over this painting. Blue, all over the painting. Phthalo green, probably. I do have, these are left out from other times. So I have some light transparent oxide red here, and this is some transparent oxide brown, which is like burnt umber. And just like burnt umber, it's already, pretty much set up. I also have cad red medium up here. And I think that's going to be a nice color in there. It's kind of in between cad red and the alizarin, but we're going to mix a couple of these guys together too. Synthetic, definitely going to need some synthetics for probably more for the snow and cleaning up, keeping that clean, and basic toning or basic underneath stuff. You can, keep control of this guy a little bit more, these brushes. Bristles, when we start to do fur, gonna need, if you have a filbert bristle, that's kind of a rounded edge type brush in bristles. This one sort of has the edges taken off it. That's good to have. And then for the eyes, if you need, you're gonna probably need a little bit smaller brushes. I have tried to incorporate littler brushes into my work. This is because my eyes are going. So you know, I can control these guys so far, but you know, I'm wasting a lot of time and effort. I find just by not going to a smaller brush and just trying to do it all with touch. So anyway, let's bring this stuff over. All right. Whab it. All right. Yeah. Purples. This isn't too bad. This printout's not too bad either. Probably just slightly warm compared to what I'll be painting monitor nuance. All right. First purple. Whoever wants an A in this class must tell me a purple. The coolest purple to make. Who can tell me a cool purple?
Blue and alizarin.
Which one?
Blue and alizarin.
Blue and alizarin. You get an A, Carrie. Yeah, way to go, girl. The rest of you guys, F's.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You know, that it goes a long ways. It really does in life, you know? So alizarin and blue. Definitely you're gonna need this comes in. This is where two colors, at least starting off with two colors like this, one on the red side and one on the blue side, you know, really make a difference. We're gonna make a difference here. The dark areas here, we probably won't be using too much. I'm gonna really keep it on a little bit more on the blue side than the alizarin side. On the when I do the blue, it's gonna be really a lot of blue and the
Phthalo
alizarin.
blue,
What's that?
phthalo blue, or
Yeah,
cobalt?
Cobalt if you have it.
Cobalt.
Just stay with the same blue throughout the painting.
Okay.
You know, it's no big deal. But I find that ultramarine's just a little too cool. That's one.
I've got my Prussian out. I'm thinking about it.
Oh, don't you go with Prussian, girl. You would. Prussian's almost like a green. That's what I got phthalo green for. Okay. So okay, we need some more purples. I need another purple, cool purple. That's can be here. And then we'll go to warms. So we did alizarin. I might try if you have CAD red medium, we'll try that. That might go a little warm. Same thing. Keep one on the blue side, definitely on the bluer side. We can always redden it up, but half and half will be definitely on the red side. Oh, purple. So this is right down. This is almost a beautiful purple. That's like nice. CAD red medium. Then I'm going to keep one a little bit more on the blue side, like so you can sort of see it there. That's really blue showing through, and this is where and that's real red. Good. Okay. And so now we'll just go to a warmer reds. We're going to go blue again. And I mentioned it before, CAD red light. We'll see how much that is right there. You can see how warm that is compared to all the other purples. I'm not going to take it quite so much in this blue, but my blue is not a really strong blue. So, but you can see how that warmed up a little bit. I might have to take that just a little higher too. So I'm gonna take a piece of this. I don't need much of it. Well, maybe I might end up needing more. Maybe I should even do the cad red and blue, mostly in the red side. I'm looking at ears color. So we might go there. You might even have to go just a little bit, even more red in a few spots. That should do it. This should take care of the eyeball too. I think around in there. It might be just a little more blue into it, but to gray it out, but that's about right. All right. Those are your darks, which we won't be painting with, pretty much. All right, but we're gonna save these colors, at least pieces of the colors, for we have enough to go back to paint with.
Sorry, Jim, what was that last one? That
This
looks very
just-
red?
Yeah, cad
Yeah.
red light and blue.
There's
This
blue
is-
in there. Okay.
So I really put a lot of cad red into it.
Okay.
I was going for the ears,
Right. Yeah.
and this color will end up in the fur. One more color, one more phthalo green. I'm gonna put it down here though. Phthalo green and guess. An
Alizarin.
There you go. We're gonna go with alizarin. One on the really alizarin side. And one slightly on the green side, but not quite much. This is where this is the color I was seeing just on the edges. And that might be too much green as it is too, but we'll end up mixing maybe some of these piles together even as we get going. All right. To get to, we're going to be going all the way up here to 4. Let's go to 7 first. We're going to go to 7 first, and then we're going to go to 4. So I'm going to bring down piles here and take these piles. I probably don't need that much at the top left, because it is all medium painting. And then we're just going to add enough white to these guys to make them to a 7. Could be half and half. We'll see. This is about half and half. A little bit, just a little bit less than half. There's an 8. So another, definitely half and half. This is probably going to be one of your darker colors. We probably don't even need this.
No.
But if I didn't do this, I feel like I was cheating. And then we're going to take them to 4s, mostly 4s, 3s and 4s. But we need this for basic underpainting. Maybe I probably don't really need it, I think. Don't worry. We'll get there. Oops. Just put a gob of white in there. It probably didn't need to be that much. Oops, we just lost it.
Okay. Yeah.
But We are getting there pretty quick though. These colors are purple is on the darker scale too, so it does take a little bit of white to get these things to move. Okay. This color, blue and cad red light, you're gonna find it all over the back of this bunny. As warm as that is, these two colors here are gonna really shape that bunny in the back. And this is gonna get close to what we need. It's gonna get us close to this guy. That's good. That's at a 7. And then these guys, oops, that was a ton of white. Didn't move it. Oh, that's right on the, see, that's a muddy purple compared to that stuff, bright gray. Not quite in there. That needs just a little more green compared to what I wanted. Alizarin, phthalo green. This is really on the alizarin side. That can fit in there when it goes down. That one I'm gonna just put a touch more green in.
Alizarin. Yeah, alizarin.
All right, so these are at like around 7s. That one's probably 8. Lighten it up. All right. You can keep those piles kind of tight. You don't need to, because most of this painting, most of this painting is going to
Thank
be
you.
at the 3s and 4s, and they should come out pretty good. So let's try it again. Take a pile, split these guys one more time.
Do it. I'm not matching it. Oh well.
Okay. One second, I'm gonna mute you guys. Come on. Okay. So now we're just gonna take these guys and split them, take them to 3s and probably, you go for 3 before, in between the 3-4 type thing, you'll be fine. If you go for 4, you just know you got to add just a little bit of white to the color. You'll be fine. And then we can just take and make these things. So again, white wise, probably double the amount or half and half of white and pile ratio. Right there's half and half. Value. Really close, really close. Yeah, that could be 5. Okay, more white. That's really close to what we're going to be. I might need more white. So it is going to be high key. And adding white to all the colors also adds the cool side. So let's see what happens here. Maybe I don't need quite, I said, Just bring in a little bit of color. Value. That is almost too dark. Wow. Let me check again. Yeah, this is really too dark. Red's such a dark color. This is almost perfect. This is gonna be, so that's what we got to get to, all these colors. So I'm gonna go back here and leave a lot smaller pile, not half and half. These things, whoops. I don't need that much. I mean, if I do that, it was just, I'll use up so much white and I'm not going to need half of it. So, all right.
How big are you painting?
I'm just doing a 16 by 20.
Still pretty big.
It's kind of big, but it should work. Yeah, this is really, really a good. And that's the thing is, even if you're off, say you did it all at 5s, you'd be fine too. You know, that as long as you had all these colors really close to a 5, 4, or 6. Sometimes even how the color hits you in the face between a warm and a cool, even at the same value range, you know, it'll feel lighter. Like this one feels lighter than this one, even though this is probably lighter. That hits your eyes faster. And if I need to mix up more, God, I have tons of paint here. So just being able to see that there are 2 sides to each color. That one can come up a little bit more. Also, I mentioned this a while ago, but there is another white, Melba white, that you could use to get a coolness to your paint that you won't get with titanium. Titanium's on the slightly warmer spectrum. But if you were doing like a lot of winter scenes and you were getting into a lot of really subtleties, you know, where things don't really change much, and sometimes just the coolness of the, you know, blue batting blue is just not working. Sometimes it's just a cooler white. That one. And I see how bright that is. That's tells me that is not probably going to work as at on the red side quite that much when it gets down here. I'm probably going to have to go a mix of those 2 together. Let's see. There are grayed out purples. This is what this color is great for because it just is a natural feeling purple. Just a little more grayed out. Yeah, this would be perfect like for, because it can kind of go when it goes against cooler purples, the redder purples and stuff. This can go warm or cool in there. So it has a lot of just nice applications because it can fit into a few different spots in paintings, coolness, temperature wise. Oh, see this, it's not moving. This is not moving. That did not move at all. That phthalo on that side just did not move. I'm just taking a piece of it, white, trying to get it up to 3 if I can. That's closer to almost 6. Oh boy. Some colors just don't work. That was double the amount of paint, white, and I went right through it. I probably didn't need to do that second row that much, but you probably should be thought about doing just washes with the top ones and then light and then going for the 3/4. I think that probably won't be where I end up. Okay, but I just needed a few colors here. But you never know. It's gonna be very high key. These last colors are definitely gonna be in it. Now, I was saying, let's get a few colors. That's pretty good in there. That's just cad red and blue. What I think and I want though is one more in between the reds and the blue, more neutral even than that, for some of these guys. See, it starts to fit in there pretty well in that way. So the cad red and blue, I'm just gonna take and work those guys together a little bit. Some of these guys, then I'm gonna look at and see which one of these guys can kind of get closer to that color too. I think we're all pretty good though. So let's explore spread out these cad red and blue a little bit more. So I'm gonna come down here with the red side. This is definitely on the red side. And we get that. So really, I'm going to just mix the two together and get a neutral. Put that down in here. And then just mix the neutrals and get a couple variations here. So I have, and then add enough white to each one of those. Also clean your knife off in between. I'm gonna put, or else you'll be doing the same, mixing them all in all these little subtleties of fur you come up with will probably go for naught. So this is still on this is on the blue side in there, but it's like that, almost there. Okay. Did not move much. Just to have these guys, because this is going to be fur. And when we get up to really, yeah, this is a nice neutral. This would be on the red side and the real red side. This is just a nice way to figure it out, figure out the colors. And then we have colors like these in here will come in handy to enhance these colors. This is going to be fun. This is going to be very interesting, I must say. I think it is. And if we need to like come back and make, this is going to be like one of your topping fur colors right over here. And that is basically just the same, came down with the red, just a touch more white to it. That felt I thought was just a little too red, but when you do add the white to it, you get it up to about a 3 value. Yeah, It you can see how it stands out among these guys. These are going to be your other fur colors going into the back of this guy. This one will probably come into this bigger area, so you just need a little bit of that, a couple little spots of it, and then we'll find the places around it. So I should just make up a little bit bigger pile of it so I can use it. Be consistent, but that'll be your warm. This is going to be your lightest and your warms. These are all your cools, plenty of cools for the painting. Okay, let's go through the colors again. We used just a couple reds. We used alizarin, cad red medium, and cad red light. We used blue and phthalo green. And we made all these colors. So the first ones we did blue and alizarin, which is great colors. Took them down to, I said 7. And then we took them down to 4s, the 3s and 4s down in here. They might even be, as long as they're consistently, they're pretty good. We got, this is blue and cad red medium. That's a beautiful grayed out purple. That's a good one to remember, because it's not so sweet as this one gets kind of really sweet for the alizarin, because it's just does. So this is more of a neutral, little grayed out, and comes down. Then we did blue and cad red. This is on the blue side. Kind of walked right through it. Might be good for the eyeballs, so that's why I'm remixing it up. And then the cad red side over here, just a little more red into it. And then, no, that's yeah, that's red. Yeah. Then I made one way more cad red. That's what it was. Okay, that's what throwing me off here. And then down here we did phthalo green and alizarin, which make a great purple. Look at that grayed up purple compared to all these. Yeah, cad red and blue get pretty close to it though. I mean, that could be a good, hey, you probably don't need it, but I just love that color. There's a cut, like I said, there's a couple places I just saw a little bit of phthalo green shooting through. Just gonna make sure that phthalo green right there. That could sometimes just putting cools against certain colors set them off. When you put a neutral against a top, they fight a little bit, and that's how you get that little spike of color, extra color. So we'll be using mostly these guys. Just going to put the darker ones into the base of the painting, and then come back and really do this. So even I'm going to tone, when I tone this painting, I'm going to tone it with alizarin. I want to keep it cool. And as you see, I did not use any oxides. I didn't use the warmer oxides. I stayed with sorry, stayed with the cats. All right. So that's what we'll be doing. Color, that's kind of just a little dirty. I want to clean oil too today. I was left over. Clean oil to start a painting like this would be probably very, very helpful. Make sure your brushes are nice and clean too. All right. So coming back. Very interesting painting. Hopefully it won't take too long to draw in. Bring this in a little bit for you, as far as I can go. Keep this over here and point to it. Okay. All right. Like I said, I'm going to tone it with a little alizarin. I want to try. I like the transparency of alizarin. I don't want to. In a lot of oil, when you add a lot of oil like this, it will not break up too much. Kind of a stainer. It's a nice stain. So this will be kind of good when we need to take out color and things. We'll get this pink on back in here. Hopefully. Yeah. That should do it. Don't want to get too dark back in here because all that white's going to have to come back in and take it out. Okay. So this, if I tone this right, this will help control color too. All right. Now when I place this this guy in here, this rabbit in here, yeah, I want to keep him closer to the edge here, probably about, and a little bit more room on the front side. And the same here, I want a little bit more room on the bottom side than the top. So he's not perfectly centered. So just keep him I'm keeping him about an inch out here and probably about
You're drawing him in alizarin?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 inches for me. I'm on that side, so it's 3 times as much over there. I know that. And let's see. What about here? A little bit shorter, but and yeah, see, if I split those, they should be about right. Thirds. Basically, you do this shape, you break it down into thirds. 1/3 of it is all the head. So a little oval, round oval coming up. That back. Right about halfway, you get the back of the eye. That shape I was kind of saying, little small eyes, a little closer to the top. Okay. The ear, I measure that now. The ear starts off the eye here, about there to right about there. So that's where the ear, how about far the ear goes. This is just a nice, simple way to, lay it out. The head is pretty much the highest point on this thing too, a little bit. So drop this down a little bit. Down and pretty much end up there. And it's, hey, a lot of this could be, oh shoot, I didn't do the top. This should have been up. This should have been up here. Everything should have been up here. Shoot. Okay. Everything, all the outside marks are about the same, but yeah, this one needs to be, because when I was coming down here, this would have centered it. I probably could almost go just a slightly bit higher. So let's go a little higher. See if that stuff will all work in there. That could be just slightly wider. Okay. Like I said, here to here, eyeball should be there and start in here. Just that little teeny spot in the nose, it just cuts in right at that nose and then comes down in here. All right. Like I said, back the ears, after you have those eyes placed right off the back edge of that ear's top of this ear. Goes back to about that width. Just gonna get this to a little bit better shape than the snow. Got some nice, it's not too straight. Got some nice undulations, and they're not too much the same exact, spaced out too much. So we kind of group a couple of them together and then drop one down at the end. So he's in this little nice little pocket of snow. Don't need too many marks because most of these marks are going to be go away anyway. So this is probably just way too far out. Should have been right off his mouth. Be right here. All right. Just smooth those things out. This purple, this is what we're going to be doing next. Just a little bit of oil to our main colors, the dark ones. Not much. Not much color. This is pretty much what we want for underpainting this. And yeah, so I might just do alizarin. by itself and just trying to cheat and just do the underpainting out with too many colors. This head's just a little wide, so it pops up here a little bit. Now, I'm just going to do alizarin. Just the alizarin I toned it with. I'm just going to go with a little bit darker version of it. You know, not by much, just a little more color to it. And basically go around and get these just areas like that are going to help darken in just for the mid-tones. It's going to help me shape it a little bit. So I'm going to just tone the back end and around the face, because we didn't do too much. I didn't do much about the face here. But I'm thinking this tone underneath might be just good enough. I don't want to make too dirty, get this paint colors too dirty. I want to keep it very clean feeling. That's just me. Maybe at this point, I think I can get away without doing too many more things. So I think this purple will feel a little warmer against certain colors. So I think it's going to do a lot of things. So I'm just going to tone the basic fur just a little bit darker where it's supposed to be and just thin it out. I want to make sure there's ink there. This is kind of like the Wayne Thiebaud, but his was in the yellow section, right? It's a little lighter. So this pink will get into Oliver Rabbit. And even doing this, you can start to see, areas that it could go in. Okay, might go just a hair darker underneath here, not by much. And even with this transparent stuff. Yeah. Gets tough to do. I swear that. Let me see something. Measuring. Yeah, it's measured right. Well, I have this ear and back kind of going together here. So, all right, there we go. I'm going to tone the corners of this painting too a little bit with red. Alizarin. I want to start getting these guys. I'm just going to brush it out. Maybe 3 of them, and leave this one a little bit. Now I'm just going to thin that color out so it doesn't run. I'll give it a little more tone right there at the top. Okay, that's all it has to be. Just enough. Okay. So our first color, I'm just slightly higher. I'm just gonna go with alizarin and red, blue and alizarin, full strength. Just a little teeny. I just want to mark the eyeball for you. Just that the ear comes back in here. It's going to go red. It's going to go warmer. But putting it in here like this with this cooler red at this point will just keep it from making all the colors dirty. So I can always put that opaque cad red on top of this. But if I go to it right now and paint everything else, it's going to get into the colors. It's going to get into these undercolors a little too soon. And it's just going to feel dirty. This here is going to feel dirty. It's going to probably get into a lot of the other paints around in here and feel a little dirty too. So this color, definitely little places. Again, now that it's full strength, it's still up there from full strength, and now it's a little thinned out. This is where I was going. Maybe I could get away without doing too much underpainting, but little places like this, be good to have it, right here where you're going to put some of your stronger highlights in the fur. Having this underneath it will probably help those guys read better, feel like there's more impactful. So just this guy a little bit. Okay. All right. So just toning his head back here a little bit too. I was trying to get, a little bit better shape. We can catch the shape, I think, a little bit better, but we'll catch it at the end. And if nothing else, it'll look like Bugs Bunny. So, I like Bugs Bunny. That was one of my favorite cartoons. I was growing up. I mean, man, it was so well done. Graphically, it was just, really caught in some really nice things. Okay, so that's my dark thing. Okay. I'm going to go to the blue side of that color now. Again, very weak. And I'm going to use it up top again. So this has a lot of oil in it. Not a ton of color, but these are two transparent colors, so they can handle oil and have color. I just want to get these little areas here one more time, just to tone those guys so they're not too rad, but and like I said, back in here, if I can take this and make this just a little bluer at the back end of his bum here, that will give this shape. This red will come forward a little bit more. You can almost do this thing in washes too if this paint wouldn't just run. I'm just gonna rub it in here. We have this color made. But sometimes when you have it, maybe it doesn't have to be full on, full paint. All right. But I'm just trying to find stuff to slow us down. I don't want to paint this thing too fast. Some of these things, but I do got to get a move on because it drips. It is dripping. And when it drips, it's just going to run. I'll lose the drawing. All right. Good place for the head. The head, that's a good spot right up there in that corner. All right. We are done. That's our midtones. That is our pretty much everything. Just trying not to let this run too fast. We are going to go to our first colors. We're going to go right to our we're going to skip some of the midtones. We're going to say this is midtone. Let's see what we can do here. And we're going to paint the outsides of here a little bit. And then it'll give me an idea of I do need to go to the midtones for the rabbit. So we're going to paint the outsides. A little cooler up back here. Little, the difference between here and here, the front, is just a little bit of color, a little richer color here than there. So that's just a little grayed out purple, blue, or, red, purple. So, and then this one's just a little richer, but it has some blue kicking in against it, a little bit blue. So let's, we're going to go with alizarin, and this is, how bright is this? See how blue that is? That's the alizarin side right here. And it's coming out blue. That's how cool that alizarin is. So it's not as rich as I thought. I'm glad I put the alizarin underneath in here now, because without it, it's going to go pink. I needed to go pink, and you can see right here. So that's the color I have to go to. So that just tells me basically I got to go pink and without blue. Here's blue. And you can see how dark that is. That's the alizarin blue. And even that doesn't going to go too far into here. Back here, I think I'm going to go, definitely in the corners. So this is alizarin and blue with white at number 3 or 4. It's good, shooting at 3 would probably been a really good move because of the using the color we did alizarin back in here and toning it up. That's guaranteed to darken your color up one spot easily, right? So I'm going to keep this a little bit bluer on the very top of the painting and not try to wipe out my alizarin too much there. I like to have it kind of pattern through a little bit, which, tell you the truth, is not too hard because it just does it on its own. It's a little stronger than the blue we have here, so it kind of does it on its own. I'm going to soften that up and bring it down, not full strength, just a little wiping here onto the rabbit. And I'm going to come back with the more alizarin. Just on the outside, just a touch more blue. So you just need just that little bit of white sometimes mixed in with this background here, just to hold it in play, hold the running colors in place, or you just keep running when you use oil, so much oil. But now it's really thin, going in pretty good. Okay. Like I said.
Are you painting thin on purpose, or is it just?
Yeah, I am kind of painting thin on purpose.
Okay.
I want a modulations of colors to just kind of get that
scintillating look.
There you go. That's the
okay.
word. That's much better than what I was thinking. Sparkly. I was
the same.
I was just gonna have a sparkly look. I don't know those dollar words. I only know the 50-cent ones. Anyway, so this is just alizarin and blue, but it's just like, well, okay. maybe, let me try this color again. This is alizarin in blue. Yeah, okay, it is the same. Boy, when you put it up against the blue, you can see you can see how much red's showing through. Huh. Always interesting. Color's fascinating. All right, so I want to work this. This is just alizarin, and on the alizarin side of blue, I did the blue side here. Now I want to take the alizarin from the rabbit up and soften it up just a little bit. So basically, I'm starting to outline them, getting to outline the rabbit. Remember this color, because we could go just slightly warmer. We might go more alizarin than blue, a little bit even, just straight alizarin and white at the end, and come back here and do this all over. This is what we're doing right here, but this will be a nice thing to start with.
Jim, I didn't follow that.
Okay. What I did is this is just two colors so far. This is just a alizarin and blue at 3 or 4. And I brought the blue down, but from the right behind the rabbit on up a little bit, about kind of a little glow around it, about halfway up to halfway up. It's just a little redder. So I'm just switching over to the red side, and coming back to outline the basic shape of this guy to this spot areas. And that's your base, really a good base for this painting right here. This will get you close to the finish on the background. Right up here around the head a little bit. Because this is going to be just that right there. Just there's a glow that happened. And you go, ooh, kind of shivers down my back. Because we haven't really painted too many of these really high key kind of fun things. When you get to high keys, even cools become warms. So this red is really a warm compared to that blue. And so it does a lot of things. It comes forward just that much more. So this is just giving me a little indentation in here. And having this good base, right here, this just simple 2-color, with white variations, pretty much gives me everything I need. This, just set off to start the next stage, jump up here and go, okay, that's good enough. We can work on the bunny. We'd put those colors in there. That's, like pretty nice. I don't want to go jump past here or too fast here. Get a few midtones in here. And I'm going to go with in the middle here, where we did let me see, I'm just got to touch it first instead of going to it. Yeah, I can do this. This is going to be mid-tone. This is a cad red medium in blue with white this is about 7. And I'm just going to use it. This is on the red side. It might be on the red side. and it feels blue. So really my blue side, my blue side's not going to work. What I need, this is really the cool, very cool. I might have to add just a touch more red to it. So I got this kind of a gray purple. So I'm just going to touch a little more red to that side to warm it up. So this will be my red side. Since I'm adding red, red will darken the color. To get it back to the right value, I just got to have white back to it. And of course, I had too much white. Little high key. I'm just going to really push the red, I guess. Red purple. Basically, it's just a nice, really warmer red purple. And it's going to go up around the eye. Not really on the eye, but it's going to go around the outside of it. And I'll lighten, come back and do. See, that's still, I got to, maybe it's probably my brush. The brush, I think, is just, has a lot of blue in it. So it's just bluing out the color a little bit more than it should. Not by much. This is going to be a lot of the underpainting. You can see how red it is compared to this blue side. Okay, maybe I do have to go. I just didn't want to go to CAD red yet. To the CAD red side too soon. So just having a little bit of that in there and then bringing in going to the CAD red. Yeah, it's CAD red. Well, hedging my bet all the time. But it's nice to have that cool in there too, though. So I'm not going to overstroke it, overpaint it, so I can have both. A little bit more warmth. You got to have those warms. You got to have warms and cools battling it out. Back eyeball too. Yeah, just a little right on behind the head right here. Just a little bit warmer. This is where it gets really chancy about becoming mud. But the thing about mud, the only reason it's mud is because it's too warm. So if you ever feel like you got mud, your painting gets kind of muddy, just means you got to put some cools in there. It's asking for cools colors be put in there. And that will change it back, control the warmth a little bit more. So that's pretty much got to do here. So even around here, we're going to have to go a little bit darker right in a couple of these crevices around the mouth and the ears. I got to get the finish putting the cools in, but that was working out really well. In fact, I was just, a little hesitant because it wasn't getting up warm enough. It's just like what we're doing. We're just got to sneak up on this bunny a little bit. So we sneak up on it. We can catch it. Even if we have, even if we make mud, we can still catch it. As long as we stay good to our tone. That's going to work out really nice, in fact. Okay. Like I said, tone. Some of these things. Don't want to get that color into my brush yet. Full strength red into my brush. Not this one, at least. I want to paint with this one. I might do it with a smaller brush, though. Get that little area here in there. See, this is just like the Monty Python rabbit. Now, that blood on its face there. Everybody's sure you all seen that movie, right? All seen Pump. Yeah. Okay, no one's seen it. Just a little bit of red there. And that's it. That's your darks. You probably can come back in and do a little bit of the eyes. I'm not even touching the eyes anymore. Okay. Rinse that out of that brush because I might get it. I think I'm going to end up using that brush a little bit. So those two colors going back and forth worked out pretty well. And same here. So I'm going to go back to purple and or blue and mid cad red medium. And this is again on this is going to be on the blue side. And I'll start stroking it underneath here. Starting to think about what I'm thinking about here is getting it a warm going on top of this area and creating a better, stronger warm by having some cooler purples underneath. This might be too strong, but it's all right. Also look for it slightly onto the back snow. Bring it in. Comes in, but that's why we put that all the other colors in, because now when we bring in these things, they'll can be even just a nice subtle, so subtle that that's the beauty. It's where you want to be, is getting subtleties. I'm going to work the blue side back into the back end boom here. I haven't even done the phthalo green. That's the thing, is like it's a color which I think it can go into here, really just go into there, just make that color just a little more interesting. All right. It's going to speed up pretty quickly too from here, because we don't have too many more colors. I just want to get rid of all this, even underpainting a little bit. I'm kind of leaving little areas very thinly, a little thinner coated, because of I want the strength of the color to really come through here, but you still need a little bit coming through. I think purple might be too strong there. I mean, when I say purple, I meant bluish purple, reddish purple, which is this coming through right into here. I'm pushing it back up. All right. That is pretty much it for our midtones. Might just hit this really quick too.
Excuse me, did you use your CAD red light?
Not I did only on here on the mouth.
Okay,
This is where it goes a little furthest, and then a little bit on the back of the ears.
okay. Because when you said CAD red, I've been using a whole lot of the CAD red medium.
Yeah, most of this
So-
whole rest of the
Okay.
bird are is all CAD red medium.
Okay,
And,
awesome.
and even it's even on the red side, so the blue really stands out.
Thank you.
No worries. All right. Let's see. Let's go with a bristle brush now. And I'm going to see if that's going to be slightly too big. But I want to, kind of like I said, I think in a bad bristle brush, not a pristine bristle brush, a brush that, oh God, if I don't get this brown out of here, did not clean my brushes very well. I might not use this one. Because it's just one of those things, boy, when you're painting subtleties like this and you got green or let's see, I'm getting some brown out of this brush. That will really taint things. So I'm going to go with a brush I know that's clean. Cleaner. All right. So now we're going to start to paint on some fur. I'm going to stay with these are the blue and cad red colors with a lot of white. This is just some cools underneath it. I'm going to stay just to taint my brush. I'm going to go back to the medium version of this color. These are way on the red side, right? Way on the red side. I just want to get that color starting in here. This color definitely can be right here at the bottom of the rabbit here. And just to get my brush, get that color started in my brush, at least those two, that family of colors. I can get a little bit darker right behind its head. And its back here, a little. And then go back to the total red side. Okay. Yeah. That's getting pretty close to what I need for
You're on bristle.
a bristle.
Is that what you said? You're on bristle brush?
Yeah, I'm on a big bristle
Yeah,
brush right
okay.
now. I might go to a slightly smaller one to get around the eyes. Ah, got it. I was looking for this one. All right. I'm probably going to drop down to 3s now. These last, everything else, my colors are going to be in the 3 range from now on for a while to paint this guy. Except for the ears, I'm going to have to get some darks and eyes and stuff like that. But so I'm going to stay with some of the mid tones, the blue side first of these guys. Let's see if I can find it. See, that's the bluer side. That's not too bad. 3s. I'm just going to start to get around. the his eyebrows. This is a good sized brush for it because it's almost fits, you know. Because I've been, always using and trying to use bigger brushes than I need, which is where you kind of want to be. But after a while, man, it's just like a lot of work, and sometimes you can't be as accurate. So it feels like I'm making it harder than it needs to be. Now, how that feels very cool. Should be warmer. So I think the next couple steps up from that on red, I can get around the eyes. So this would be pretty close to almost my highest, what I'll be using in underneath here, the bigger pieces of fur. This color is really close to it, but it's just a little bit more red into it, so it's not quite as white. Just a hair too white. Okay, so I'm going to move back one step and gray it out. So this is almost a straight mix. A little bit more, just slightly on the red side. And that's just the thing. It's just when even it's just subtleties. Just soften that back edge around the eyebrow and bring it back into the nose here. Then when I do go around that red there, I'll lay the brush more flat when I can pull it down. So you get a lot of the color bleeding through a little bit more. So even on this kind of stuff, I'll be laying the brush flatter. So these so the tines on the brush scrape more, rake the color. So
Excuse me, what color is that you're using?
I have no idea.
I'm
It,
lost.
no, no,
Sorry.
no. It is a mix. It's mostly cad red and blue, but it's mostly cad red, and then just a ton of white to the three variation. And this is just almost a gray mix of between the blue and the red, where you get it's just barely on the red side.
Okay.
Just so it's barely on the red side. This area here, you would say more. It's way more on the red side. So this is right down the middle.
Thanks.
Okay. And if you judge things like that, you'll be all, you're even though this is on the red side though too. Everything's on the red side, but this just has just a hair more blue in it. That's it. I'm gonna go the opposite direction and just pull it up into the eye here a little bit. Area, and then just pull it back down one more time. Just to lighten that color up just one more. Just that little subtlety. Now I'm just going to bring just a touch more red back into it. Go up one step and then right above the eye. This area here, it just gets, might have to probably end up making the eye bigger too. Maybe, or maybe not. That's the thing, you can always be squinty. Just needs just a touch more depth. Okay, good enough. So that's the face. This bristle brush was almost too good. Again, I'm going to just go against the grain a little bit. Just push the brush, and that gives you just a slightly different leaving of paint. A little more blue on that spot, and I'll be good. Anyway, so that's the head. See how fast that went? That went pretty quick. Now we'll work the back end. I'm always kind of like to leave this area here for the end. So back here, I'm going to be using probably some of the cooler versions of this. God, half that stuff I'm looking at some of these colors. I'm going, I don't know if I'm going to even be using this color. This is the blue side of Cad Red and Cad Red and blue. White. Oh, I did go all the way to this. And that comes right around the outside. So this is really on the blue side. Well, not really blue side. I think I'm going to save this smaller brush. It's just a little bit too perfect for what I want. It can take a little bit longer than I want. Let me go back with the bigger brush so I can get this stuff back around this leg here. And then come out of that purple with just a little bit of blue worked into it. Cad Red and blue. And this is on a little bit on more, it's on more on the blue side compared to that. Actually, I need to get this color really right against the ear. I need to get this color right against the shape of this ear. Bring it down. This is just a little blue. Cad Red and blue. Mostly just a little bit on the bluer side. So it's a kind of a blue grayed out purple. That's what I was just bringing in here. Just a little bit darker, before I go for the topping coat, making sure I have just a little bit more, make sure I got the shape underneath here, that this leg's coming out right, and there's a little bit of, it's not too flat of a shape, which happens really easy. Now you can see how dirty it's getting. Oh, that Cad Red, it's really kind of dirty. Um, we'll see. We're gonna go with it like this for now, and I might come back and I probably should come back and just put a little reflective light in here on the back edge of the snow. That would be the blue, alizarin and blue coming back in just a little in the back edge here, and you're going to find it a little bit in the front too. Right back in there, just gives you that on the blue side. Glows a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the warm. Sorry, jumping around. It just that's the way it's going to be. Trying to get just this medium tone. Sorry. In here. All the way to the snow. Because I don't want, if you don't take it all the way to the points, you're going to end up with like a halo around it, a line around it. And that always, to me, says amateur. So don't do it. Okay, so that's working out really, really well. It's more important to have everything underneath that perfect before I do it. I think the head was pretty easy. That was just calling for it. I mean, there's still a light color that has to go in there. This one's just really going to be very quick. All right. I'm going to go just clean out this brush. Nice and clean. Get that purple out of here. I'm going to go with my lightest color now. And I want to put it in pretty clean. So a lot of times I'm just going to use a little bit of it. So this is just basically CAD red light in white, maybe even to a 2-ish value. You can see how bright that is. That's probably going to be too bright. I'm going to bring in just a little more red to it. Instead of putting in white, just put a little red into it. All right. And I'm going to stroke it from the ear. I'm going to lay this brush down. I'm going to stroke it from the ear back to this point here, this round hump here. And I want to stop at that hump. So I want to take my brush, lay it here, and then turn it and drag it to here. When I get to there, just pull it off. That's fur. That's the first piece of fur. You just got to keep pulling it, move it down, do the same thing, and just pull it up. It kind of goes from the back. It just goes just up and off. So I'm just really looking at where that fur goes. And now that my brush is just getting a little bit denser in color, I mean, a little less in color, I can start to push a little harder and get the right strokes. And when it starts to break up like this, that's what you want. And you go, that you can't, you got to leave it and go to the next spot. And you wiggle your brush when you pull it down, rock it, pull it down, just rock it in your fingers, pull it down. And now I have the base for all the fur. Everything else falls a little bit less. So I'm just going to flip my brush over and pull down at an angle straight down. That's what that fur is doing. Just pulling it down, making little teeny spikes and subtleties coming around. And that's all it is. And you're going to get gobs of paint. Sometimes they're going to pop off here. Leave them. That just makes the paint, more believable that this fur has a tuft to it. I'm just going to load my brush up just a little bit more. Doesn't have to be quite that strong. Let me just hit a few spots here to see how it goes. Okay, just light enough. I'm going to do the front part. There's a couple stuff right here on its body coming down from the neck, right? And that's where I see a good stroke right here that comes in here like this, starts with a full paint, and then just releasing the pressure on the brush and just letting the paint come off and mix a little bit. Pretty good. Could have been probably a little bit more full strength paint. There. And then over here, it's just a mark coming down to a point. So it's just, when it comes down, just turn your brush and flick it down. Flick. And flick. That's it. Then work your way up. In the middle of the neck here, it gets just a little pinkier. So I might change the color I'm using to one that has a touch more blue in it. That was the lightest one, kind of came with that. But it just also mixed up a little bit. Just pulling it down. This is getting me up to the lighter areas. Push that brush up a little bit and pull it down. What was that? Okay. I'm going to go to just a little more grayed out color. Just do the back. I say grayed out, it meant just has on just same color, same value, just on the blue side, just a touch more blue onto it. Just to separate this leg here, back out here, get the fur on it. I have to do it. You have to do it in the cooler stage, or it is going to look come forward, or it's going to be too bright like this, and you're going to lose this back here is going to look flat. You're going to lose the turn of the guy. We're going to bring in a few stronger strokes, and sometimes it's just amount of paint will make it feel heavier, lighter. And this right there, that's right here's the beauty of you can see these two colors start to vibrate because they're the same value. The red's trying to jump forward, but the blue's holding it back. And so it gets more intense because it vibrates to our eyes. That's all it is. So it looks, that is it. I don't want to lose too much the dark in here. You lose it's dark, but it's really, not much. But if you lose that, you start to lose the structure too much. I'm going to probably end up nibbling at it a little bit, but not quite that much. I'm going to finish this part down here with this color though. See, that was warm, or this is warm and this is cool. But if I put the same color that I was using back in here over this, it's going to look warmer and help bring this area further. And then the thing is also, you don't want to create too many lines here of these guys lining up. So I might take a couple of these guys up a little higher. And that is really quite it almost. Before we get to the lights. Come back to this light we laid in here first. Now you can start to see what this stroke did. When it broke up like that and compared to all these other ones, it has you get the darks through it, you get the lights through it, you get a little more contrast popping through, where these guys, you don't get quite as much, but you do get it softer on the edges. So, always good. All right, I'm going to clean my brush out because I do want any blue out of here. And I'm going to go to my brightest color again. And we're going to dig into this area here right underneath the brightest spots of the fur. I'm thinking that I'm going to start do a flick. We're going to take it up instead of drag down, because I want the paint on the bottom of the stroke instead of the top. So, coming down like this, the time you get down here, the paint's already mixed. But if you start here and flick it up, you're going to it's going to leave the paint cleaner at the bottom and dirty in the middle. So I'm going to start down here at this bottom area here and just flick it up. It's okay. A lot of paint on it. Now it needs to just soften up a little bit. And I want to leave spaces around this bright paint too. I don't want to get these guys too close together. I don't want to be perfectly the same on all around, but I do want the paint to have things. And then when I get up here, I'll start to turn and wangle a few different ways back in here. So you'll get that kind of a effect as you go up. So that's the bottom of the shape. Same thing. Now I'm going to clean up my brush, clean up some more paint, and start on the second level tier. As I get closer, probably about 2 or 3 of them. Getting to the ear a lot quicker than I thought it was. Okay, just a few. I can always bring it down a little bit too. And then I'll come back and there we go. That was a good stroke. I also need one right here above the eye, right there. Okay. I need to bring this down just a smidgen. And then you do get these, like I was doing, is creating these little crevasses in between the lights, Then you got to come back and just put a line through the crevasse to break it up. And it's usually about 1/3, 2/3 of the line. Always 1/3, 2/3. It's like the magic number paint. And there we go. Starting to break up. I just gotta soften a few spots, add a few here and there, create a little bit more coming out this way, a little more bright down in here. Now I'll start dragging it normally. See, it's just a touch of oil. Touch of oil on the brush before you grab your paint. And just rock it off this back edge. Like I said, take it through this color every once in a while so you don't get this little line that's showing up here. Take it through and then you come back and repaint that line again. Or it's usually good enough you just run your finger through and you get rid of it. All right. Now it's just a little bit of face work going around here. I'm not sure even how bright I want these ears. Okay. You got this dark spot. Right next to it is crevice. I'm just going to drop the bristle brush straight down. Use this bristle brush, drop it straight down on that spot and push, and then pull it straight up. Push too hard. Sorry. Didn't have any paint on it, but it did do what I wanted to do, but it didn't leave the mark I wanted. Just that little fleck. Too perfect. There you go. Well, now it's come along. We haven't even put the highlight, done anything within her eyes yet. Okay. And just a few more here and there. Just keep following the direction though. Not too many, few of them, kind of can go across the grain, but some of these guys just scratches. Just build up the shape, right? You're going up and around. So it's all getting up here. It's all flat, kind of more horizontal strokes. You need one or two up here. You can just catch a little bit more light. So there's something here. It's so subtle, right? We're working subtleties. And probably something on this line here. You find out adjustments. You'll start to see things that just need to be just a little lighter or bluer, cooler, darker. Need a few more teeny strokes of real color paint showing through. Maybe right in here, a little closer to pull these guys together. Sometimes this is when you use the perfect brush, perfect size one, and you find out the big brush is where you should have been. So you got to go back in and you'll soften the in-between. Sometimes it's just the in-betweens. The brush strokes get a little bit too dark. All right. Well, let's now that phthalo green. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Oh, damn it. All right. It's really pretty good. Let me see if this color does what I think it's going to do. Gonna be really, you guys probably won't even be able to see it. So just putting it in this front section right on this edge here. And again, like I was saying, just you are going to get these spots here where it does feel like they all the brushes stop together. Brush strokes stop perfectly. So just going to put this on the edge here. Really makes the red, brings out the red too. Oh, you got a nice color class in this one today. And subtleties like this. How you guys doing? Good to hear. Good to hear. You guys learn a lot. Everybody's busy.
We're still here.
You're all muted. Y'all muted. I mute y'all. I'm gonna bring that phthalo green mix. Same as it looks just like the blue, just slightly warmer. I'm gonna bring it right to the head of this guy because I want that pink, that green to want his head to kind of vibrate a little bit. So just to pop it around there a little bit stronger there. Again, a few spots up here. So it doesn't look too bad. Interesting. All right. His eye would like to get in here and do it. But I'm afraid, to tell you the truth, because I'm at an angle here. I want to finish this thing up, and I don't want to cause a lot more work for myself. Everything's there. There's no highlight in it. It just really just got to go around the, the iris a little bit. That's about it. And this needs to be darkened in a little bit. Has a little bit of reflective color of the rabbit in it. So I'm going to take this. This is very cool. So I'm going to go with that cad red version of it. Wow, so it's pretty simple colors, right? We didn't, just different purples, red purples, warm purples. Very purpley today. Very thin, some thick, some mostly thin. Yeah. Kick up a few spots here. Make sure my edges here are just a little softer about good down here. So I want to these strokes are so barely touching the canvas. Mostly I'm moving it with my shoulder too, not using my wrist. I'm just laying it down and just trying to get rid of some strokes down here, keep it really, really clean. Because I want to put a nice signature on it, that's what I'm looking for. I look for the signature. Nice clean area for I have a nice big signature. Making sure that this isn't too perfect going around the bunny, Bring some of that blue back down and into the closer down. So it moves right, modulates a little bit more interesting. Light back up here. Okay, the nose. I'm gonna go to a different brush. Just put a little more cad red now into my color. Still has white on it, still has a little blue in it, but mostly red. I can get that little piece right here around the nose. Push that up a little bit. That's almost too bright. Touch it again, wipe it out. Just going to touch it a few times against the color and just let it kind of soften up. I can use that color around the eye a little bit. Eyeball, just a touch more color. Okay. It's not exact of what we had, but pretty much everything's there. Just going to add just a little bit of the skin to the ears here. I'm next probably going to go to the bring in that purple or the dark into the ears. I don't think I exactly need it. Because I like the way that ear is just kind of there but not there. So I try not to. If I put the dark in there, I'm figuring it's going to draw more attention to it. Okay, but the eye could definitely use the little bit of work around it. Okay, we'll see what this does. I'll just find a few spots. Maybe they're just too cool. And you just add that red into them. And a lot of colors. Well, we did use a lot of colors, but mixed of probably more than we needed. Okay, we're done. I'll bring it in and then you guys show me what you did. This is going to be so subtle, you probably won't, it's going to be nice. You can start to see the face. You can start, this is that work, I started low and took it up and then, that way I was leaving the paint at the bottom of the stroke. Then on these ones, just pretty much pulls it straight down through the stroke. So you got that. You got a little bit of light up there, but value wise, it's pretty much the same. If you squint, you can't see anything but an eyeball. Eyeball in the ear. I'll look back at it, see what I need to do. I don't want to keep touching the face from an angle. Right now, I think it's okay. So we'll leave it there and see if it's too sweet. And that's the thing, is maybe it's too sweet. The alizarin was probably might have been too sweet. Who knows? Kim, let's see what you got. Carrie, Lisa, Molly, Sarah, turn your everything on. Let's see what you got. Okay, going to Kim first. She has to get, she needs to be done. She needs to be out of here. No more painting. Wow, Kim. Wow. That is a fabulous head. That is fabulous. Wow. I'd be done. I don't think I'd go very much farther, because I think that's way past, thrift store worthy. Okay. You might work a little bit on the eye. I love the separations of snow, the spots you got. I like the undulations. Those things are really nice design, and that comes back and it just touches the back of that rabbit just perfectly. Yeah, that's gorgeous, fabulous. Sign it.
Okay.
You're good. Damn.
Well, we did snow the last 2 days, Jim, so I'm all,
Well, no, that's a totally different version of it.
I know, but it's still snow. I was thinking
It's
snow.
no, the rabbit drawing is fabulous. You really nailed it. Congrats. You're making you're starting to make big steps in painting and drawing. So congrats.
Thank you.
Okay, Molly's here. Let's see what Molly's doing. We got Molly up way early, Molly.
I know I did get up early. Well, I kind of am working on his Jimmy Durante nose right now. Let me turn it around. He's a little, oh gosh, here we
Take
go.
your time.
There he is. It's interesting. I cut out a couple times to Zoom. My iPad died, and anyway, I kind of got lost, but I'll get
No,
back.
you didn't. No, yeah. It's only Jimmy Durante because it's not arced enough. You're just missing a small little arc where it's a little flat. It's just just arc it a little bit.
Yeah, I see that now.
And that's it. That is it.
Okay.
And then good job on the hair coming through there. Very nice. You listened really well. You got the purples back there and the alizarin and the blue back there really nice. Yeah, you can just keep going.
Okay.
You keep going on this one because this is gonna be nice. You'll get this over there in that gallery and it'll be gone. The thing about this, we did this at a number 3 or 4 value. You could go higher and you could go lower.
Yeah, I am darker. I noticed on all mine. I'm probably at a 5 or something on a lot of my.
That's you're close. You're close. You're in the ballpark.
Okay.
Nice job though.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, let's see if Carrie's in the ballpark. I have a worry about her. Her color. Yeah, that's what I figured. She's dark. Look at her. She went dark on us.
Oh, it's beautiful.
She doesn't listen to us. She goes off on her own, just like that. Good job. It reads the rabbit really fast. You haven't put in your lighter areas, have you? You are so slow. Carrie, what the heck happened? Oh, she shut off her mic. She didn't even want to talk to me about it. Okay, Carrie. Yeah, your value. You just keep going in the values you are going in. You are probably more at the 5 range and things like that than the 3 and 4. You're probably 5 is your lighter color too. That's okay. This is one that, as long as that rabbit's painted in that same value, you'll be fine. Okay. So it's just you just probably just need more white in your mixes, and it's tough to do. Keep adding white and white and white to your colors and stuff. You feel like you're petering them out, but it's really just how the colors lay against each other that really makes the color. It's not just how they lay on your palette. Good job on the drawing's fabulous. Ear's nice, goes back, nice little droop to it and comes back in, just a nice little feel to it. Good job. Just keep going. Make sure you got I know what you're doing. You're putting the darks under the fur and then you're going to lighten it up. I'm just talking about the whole background too, a little bit of it being value wide, but it's gorgeous. I mean, really, don't get me off. That's what I'm saying. Just keep going and where you're going and stuff. And knowing you'll probably try it 3 or 4 more times this week at a lighter scale, even try a lighter scale. And it's a totally different painting. So congrats so far. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Next week we'll teach you how to turn on your mic. All right. Who else? We got Sarah. Didn't turn on her mic.
There I got it.
There she goes. Good job though, Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. All right. Let me see. I'm trying to get to Lisa Garrett. She doesn't have anything turned on. Oh, Sarah moved. Okay, where's Sarah go? Oh, Sarah, you're jumping around here. Okay, there I got her. Holy shit. What were you thinking? You thought this is light on light?
I know.
My God, girl, did you put any color in that white at all?
Yes, there is. It doesn't, yeah.
I'm just kidding. Gosh,
Yeah.
it feels so finished.
Oh, cool.
It feels amazing. I mean, you could see the rabbit shape out of that perfectly. And it's just your value. Congrats on your values. Your values are so tight.
Oh, cool.
You can barely see that rabbit, and you did a great job. If I was a wolf or a coyote, I'd walk right by that too. I wouldn't have seen it. You're doing really well. Keep going. Don't, where you got the fur, finished off up top around the face and stuff. That's really good.
Okay.
As we go down here, just a little softer. Keep it softer as you go away from that area. So you only have one area like that really is going to be drawing your attention. A little glisten. So really nice. And your values are fabulous.
Cool.
Really subtle. Really good though. Man, nice job. Work on the eye too. Just take the eyes, I just didn't want to get in there, but just putting the iris in will lighten it up a little bit. And good job. Finish it up, soften some edges on the back edge, on the back ear, around the ears, just soften them up just a hair. But beautiful. Congrats. That's a great painting, man.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow, you guys like this one. Congrats. Let's see, Lisa. Did Lisa paint? Let's see. She was looking for this one. Hey, Lisa.
No, hey, I didn't get to paint. I had to take one of my dogs to the vet this morning, so I didn't get back until about 15-20 minutes ago. So I kind of caught in on the end of your session, but look forward to trying this one because it looks like a lot of I guess lighter colors blended type of thing, and I'm interested to try that.
Good. Yes, that's what this one definitely about, the subtleties of basically purple.
Yeah.
Warm purples, cool purples. That's what this one is. It's nothing more than a study in purple.
Yeah. Everybody's paintings were great.
Weren't they great?
Thanks.
You're welcome. That's the thing is, that's great. It was like, wow.
Jim, is this our last one?
No, I think we got one more.
Okay.
At the last week of the month we go to. I think there's one more. Yeah. We're at the 21st. We can get the 28th.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what we get to paint next week. It might be, I'm going to surprise you guys. So, yeah, we'll have some fun. Good job on this one. This would have been a good one to finish on too. So, and if you want, paint this one again, try it again with different key even. You could do a nighttime key. You know, even go take this all the way into that, that Venice painting I did. Basically, that was all no white added, and only light was a few sparkles. It'd be interesting to see who does it. Who wants to get extra points here in the class?
What, do the night bunny?
Yeah, do a night bunny.
A
No,
nocturne.
take it to the blue stage. Take it up to probably in the 7s and 8 range. You know, where 8's the medium color, 7's probably your light color. And you could do it. Definitely do a night version of this. Just flip the rabbit in the other direction. You got night and day. Anyway, beautiful. Good. Finish them up. Put them up on the site. Let's make Monday night feel like they should have been here. And then we will get after it again next Saturday on something else. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Good job, guys. We will see you all next week.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.